Hi, my name is Jessica Luo, and I am from the United States. I have my MBA in International Marketing and Business, and I currently work for a winery out of California, Santa Maria.
So first question, how was your 2020?
I had actually moved to the United States after being in China for about 9 years in December of 2019, and I thought I was prepared to start my American life. And for the first 3 months, it went very well. But once coronavirus hit, it, of course, kind of fell apart. Actually, the dream of living in America did not work out for me. It was hard to find jobs, especially in that climate with coronavirus, but also because my resume had mostly been work in China, finding work in the United States was incredibly difficult for me, more than I had expected. And so finally, in November, I was able to come back to China. And I have to say, I am very happy to be here.
So how's your new life here now? Did you get new jobs and how's everything going?
So after applying in America to hundreds of jobs and sending out hundreds of resumes with almost no response, I came back to China and I immediately had 6 interviews with various different companies. So that was really, it was nice to feel loved again, to be honest.
So what were some of the toughest moments in the past year?
For me, actually, it was a feeling of rejection by my own country. So I went back to the United States and applied to so many jobs. And I was really quite shocked, even though with the pandemic, I figured at least a few companies were still hiring. But really, of 100 resumes, I probably only got 2 interviews. So that kind of deep level of rejection from the country that, I care about so much was probably one of the hardest things that I had to face this year.
Jessica, are you planning to go back any soon?
No, actually, I plan to set up my life here in China. I have found that in the U.S., if I could find a really good opportunity, I would consider going back, of course. There are advantages and disadvantages to living in either country, but for right now, I found that the lifestyle in Beijing and just the overall quality of life here is really suitable for me at this moment.
If there was one thing you learned here in China about how to handle a pandemic that you wish people back home could implement or follow, what would that be?
One of the things that China has done that I really appreciate is the system of the QR code on your phone to track what areas you have been in to, kind of show exactly where you have been to make sure that, you don't spread the pandemic, a system that would probably never work in my country because, it's all about your privacy, about your freedom. Yes. And also, I would say, just not squabbling over small issues. In China, everyone sees the pandemic as something they need to come together and fight against. Whereas in the United States, it seems like it has divided people into 2 separate groups of, should I wear a mask? Shouldn't I? Should I do this? Should I go out and have Thanksgiving because it's my freedom and my right, or shouldn't I? Instead of saying, hey, let's all band together and work hard together. So that's something that I kind of wish that my country had done more of.
Next question. Has your opinion about China changed somehow during the pandemic?
I'll jump in here. China was able to, roll out policies and implement them within hours. You can see the vast difference of how this year went for both countries.
So tell me one thing that made you laugh out loud.
In January, a lot of my American friends from Beijing, they actually went to the States to be with their families during Chinese Spring Festival. And then they got trapped there in the United States. So myself and 4 of my friends who live in Beijing, all Americans, we met in one city in the United States in February. And we were all so excited that we were in the States because we never believed coronavirus could come to the United States. So we were all, ha, 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 we're so glad that we're here and not in China. And we're so sorry for our Chinese friends, but we're so glad we're here. And then all of these same friends, we met again in October. And this time, the conversation was more, do you have your visa? How about your flight? Can you get your flight back to China? So it was actually kind of almost humorous kind of situation. It was sad, but it was funny because, yeah, just such a difference that 8 months can make.
How do you think China has overcome the trials?
In the United States, a lot of people ask me, now that I have come back, I'm posting photos of me going out, of me hanging out with my friends, and different kinds of situations. And a lot of Americans genuinely ask me, they say, we do not understand how it's possible that China is where it is right now, and we aren't. Like, we do not understand this difference. And some people ask me, is China faking their numbers? Do they actually have a lot of coronavirus cases? I have to reply to them, you do not understand the control. In US airports, there's no temperature checks, right? Here, there's a temperature check everywhere you go. There's a QR code system. They lock down cities, but not like American lockdowns where you can still go out and hang out with your friends if you really want to. I mean, they will actually, gate communities and make sure that you can't. I think, a lot of people outside of China, they don't see this level of detail. It is a tight level of control that what we have, but also the benefits from it can be easily seen.